We are Baltimore. We are Detroit.
Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is presented by Bell Tire. Well, the Royals have been showing off their young guns in this series. Hosmer, Moustakas, and Kane have been key in the first two games. How about the bullpen? Herrera last night and Wade Davis to punch it home for the Royals. KC has won the first two games of the series, but tonight is a new night as we welcome you to KC. Game 3 in the series featuring the Royals and your Detroit Tigers. Hi again, everyone, and welcome to Tigers Baseball. Mario and Pemble alongside Rod Allen. Glad to have you with us. Well, the Royals have won the first two. You just got to hand it to them. It's as simple as that, Rod, and I think we both believe now this KC team is for real.
No question about that. The Tigers are going to have to somehow match the intensity of the 2015 Kansas City Royals. They are clicking on all cylinders right now. You talked about Kane and Hosmer and their bullpen. Tigers got to step up and win a ball game tonight.
All right, now they have a lot of pieces coming back from last year, but the one new piece that really has done a nice job is Kendrys Morales, a veteran guy that has fit in nicely into this lineup.
We'll give Dayton Moore, their general manager, a lot of credit. When they decided that they were not going to bring Billy Butler back, he had to go out and find somebody to hit in the middle of that batting order, and he found Kendrys Morales, who did not perform all that well last year in his two stops in Seattle and Minnesota, but he didn't have a full spring training. They felt like if they gave him a full spring training, he would be the perfect guy to slot right in the middle of their batting order, and he has been money for them. 23 games, 323 average, 11 extra base hits, and he's driven in 20, and he's been their DH every single day. That was an outstanding pickup by Dayton Moore.
All right, now this Royals team has jumped on the Tigers each of the first two games early in this series. What does David Price have to do tonight?
Well, David Price wants to go long in this game, which means he wants contact on 3 or less pitches, either an out or contact. He hasn't gone late in games. He wants to command that fastball. It's imperative that he commands his fastball, and he has some of the best location with his fastball of any power left-hander in the game. He's going to have to pitch inside to some of the right-handers as well, which he's done a nice job of. And then once he does that, against these left-handers, he's going to need this pitch today. Left-handers are hitting him at a 320 clip, which is very, very high. He's going to need that really good curveball to shut down guys like Moustakas, guys like Hosmer. He's going to have to shut down Gordon. I expect him to go out there and pitch 8 innings today, making his first start at the K.
All right, we'll see what happens here. The Tigers and Royals getting together for Game 3 in the series. After a short break, we'll send you back to the Call Sam Studios. Check in with John Keating. Well, you know what? David Price or any pitcher loves good defense. And Jose Iglesias, he's been dazzling. The Tigers take on the Royals next. Another sellout crowd here at Kauffman Stadium. Game 3 in this series features a Tigers lineup that looks like this, presented by your Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. It'll be Gose, Kinsler, and Cabrera as the top 3. Victor Martinez, the DH. Yoenis Cespedes has hit in 6 of his last 7. He's in left field. Avila catching. Castellanos, Iglesias, and Rajai Davis out in right field as J.D. Martinez gets the night off tonight. And the Tigers facing Edinson Volquez.
He's off to an outstanding start. He's won 2 and lost 2. In the 2 losses, not a lot of run support. The ERA sits at 1.91. He's got a fastball that gets up to 96. He's got a curveball, changeup, and an occasional sinker down and away from the left-handed batter.
So Volquez ready to go. Here's the first pitch of the ball game. It's lined foul down the left field line.
First pitch, 95 miles an hour, right down the middle, thrown by Edinson Volquez.
Well, the Tigers should be familiar with heat from a Royals pitcher. They saw plenty of it in the 8th and 9th innings last night. Herrera and Davis coming on, and what turned out to be a dramatic finish. Here's the 0-1 pitch. There's the strike called. Another good heater there from Volquez, and the count goes 0-2. Goes Kinsler, Cabrera to start things off on a spectacular night here in KC. Anthony is 0 for 4 in the series, has only 1 hit on the road trip. And he missed outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Changeup there thrown by Volquez at 86 miles an hour. He'll throw his changeup a lot more to the left-handers than he will the right-handers, but he is one of those right-handed pitchers that's not afraid to throw his changeup to the right-handed batters.
The 1-2 lifted back out of play. Volquez, 31 years old. He hails from Santo Domingo in the Dominican Republic. 6 feet 220. Had a really good year last year with the Pittsburgh Pirates. He signed to a 2-year deal here in KC. Goes again, waiting on the 1-2. Swing and a miss, struck him out. Put a wrinkle in one for the first out.
Let's take a look at the Kansas City Royals starting defense, and it's an outstanding defensive alignment. It's presented to you by Tim Hortons, their catcher. He leads the American League with a .305 catcher's earned run average when he's behind the plate, and they're very athletic. They make all the plays. That curveball's been a really good pitch for Volquez at the beginning of the season at 79 miles an hour.
Here is Ian Kinsler. And he looks at a fastball strike at 94. Volquez has done a really nice job here, inserted into the rotation for the Royals. And there's a ball high, in essence replacing James Shields, who left for the National League.
And he pitched in Pittsburgh last year and was pretty good down the stretch and has continued that into 2015.
He has given up just 1 earned run in 3 of his 4 starts so far this season. Volquez last year with Pittsburgh won 13 games. But it was his ERA down the stretch, as he mentioned, rather, was really good. 2.20 in the second half of 2014.
He's always had good stuff. Upper 90s fastball. East and west in the strike zone with the slider and the 2-seamer.
Strike call on Kinsler. Here are the last 10 starts for Volquez, which dates back to August 29th of last year. A 1.43 earned run average. And the 2-2. Bouncing ball back up the middle. Colon can't get it into center. Tigers have a 1-out single. By the way, here are the field conditions tonight, presented by Ace Hardware and the Scott's Company. We told you it was really nice, and we meant it. 72 at game time. A little bit of a humidity today, more so than last night, 51%, but it's a real gorgeous night here.
And they've got a wonderful crowd here tonight, and they're all decked out in that Royals blue.
Now here is Cabrera batting .360. He's been walked 3 times in this series by the Royals. Volquez missing low with the fastball, 1-0.
Cabrera's hit 5 home runs, was involved in that epic showdown last night with Kelvin Herrera. Tigers really showed some fight late. They couldn't muster a hit until the 8th inning.
Yeah, they could not get a big hit in last night's game. They had the bases loaded on a couple of different occasions and were only able to score the 1 run.
Herrera was all over the place with his control. He threw 30 pitches in the inning, and he ended up striking out Miggy.
That at bat between Herrera and Miguel, it was epic. A 10-pitch at bat.
1 ball and no strikes on Miguel. The Tigers have Kinsler at first with 1 out, just underway here in Kansas City. And Miggy looks at ball 2. Cabrera this year, .456 in on-base percentage, and that leads the American League. Gotten off to another fabulous start. Tigers just announced today that he was selected the club's player of the month in April for the start that he got off to. Joakim Soria, their pitcher of the month. Now Volquez ready with the 2-0. And he missed again, 3-0. Waiting on deck, the number 4 hitter, Victor Martinez. Three balls, no strikes on Cabrera. And he'll take it, 3-1. Royals come in tonight leading the American League Central Division. They have 16 wins. They are 16-7. Brad Ausmus Group at 15-9, and they currently reside a game and a half back. Perez wants the fastball away here against Cabrera. And he missed with it. That's ball 4, and Miggy gets yet another walk in this series. It'll be his 4th. Here's how the standings shape up. Minnesota won again today, so they're surprisingly back up to 500 on the year, 12-12. And in 3rd place.
You know, we talked about the fact that the Kansas City Royals are not going to allow Miguel Cabrera to beat him. They've already walked him 4 times. And take a look at Salvador Perez, the catcher. And when he was asking for the sign from Volquez and where he's telling him, he's giving him the fastball sign, but he's telling him outside, outside. We don't want to strike here. And he throws the ball down and out of the strike zone. They wanted nothing to do with Miguel Cabrera.
Here is Victor Martinez with 2 on, 1 out. Tigers an early scoring chance here. They have not led in this series.
I think a lot of teams have kind of watched the fact that Victor's off to a slow start this year and Miggy's on fire. So why not just put Miggy on and then go after the next couple of guys who aren't named Miguel Cabrera?
That was a much more difficult decision to make last year when Victor was one of the best hitters in the game. 1 ball to no strikes on Victor Martinez.
And it's the same kind of treatment that most teams are going to give the Tigers and Miguel Cabrera until Victor starts to heat up again. He's batting .221 as we speak.
No homers this year for Martinez. He's knocked in 9. Kinsler started this uprising with a single with 1 out. Driven in the air to center. Lorenzo Cain cruising back. Kinsler will tag up. He will move to 3rd. And that will leave Tigers at the corners now with 2 outs. Here is Yoenis Cespedes. This normally would be J.D. Martinez's spot in the lineup, but Brad decided to give him the night off tonight. Let him just step away from the game a little bit. He's been struggling.
And he struck out 3 times last night, did J.D. Martinez. And the night before that, 2 times. So he has struck out 5 times in the last couple of days.
J.D. taking the proceedings in from the bench. Brad did say now if we need him late in the game, pinch hit, or for any other reason, he certainly is available. But he would just like him to take the day off. Cespedes looks at strike 1. kind of get the feeling here, Rob, the Tigers need to get a run here in this first inning because they really haven't done a whole lot offensively in the series.
And the Royals have pretty much manhandled them in the first 2 games of the series, and the crowd has been clearly on their side. Tigers have not been able to take any of their momentum away.
Now the 0-1. Cespedes hits it hard, but right at the shortstop Cologne, and he'll get the force at second to end the threat. No runs, a hit, a walk, 2 men left. Here come the Royals. Presented by Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
Even though David Price won his last outing against the Minnesota Twins, he wasn't happy the fact that he only pitched 6 1/3 innings. He said he prides himself in going 8 innings every time that he goes out there, and he says he needs to command his fastball a little better if he's going to do that.
Here's the Royals starting lineup tonight, presented by the Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Gordon, Moustakas, and Kane, your top 3. Lorenzo Cain leads the team against lefties this year at .410. Hosmer at first, Morales DHing, Perez catching, Infante, Orlando, and Cologne your bottom 3.
David Price is one of the best left-handed pitchers in all of baseball, but yet Ned Yost, 3 of his first 4 hitters are left-handed batters, not changing his lineup at all.
No, and a couple of those guys have done really well against lefties.
Moustakas for sure.
So Price goes to work. Alex Gordon leads it off, and he looks at strike 1.
First ever start for David Price here at Kauffman Stadium. Last time he saw the Kansas City Royals was back in 2012. 8 innings of shutout baseball with 8 strikeouts for Price.
1 ball, 1 strike. The Royals has a team this year batting .299 versus left-handed pitching. Gordon overall this year .286, back in the leadoff slot.
And their record is 8-3 against lefties.
There you go. Lifted toward left field, hit pretty good. Cespedes on the run, still going into the sunlight to make the catch.
Let's take a peek at the Tigers starting defense. It's presented by Beaumont Health System. Cespedes, Ghost, Davis in the outfield. Iglesias, Kinsler up the middle. Castellanos and Miggy on the corners. And James McCann is the catcher here tonight. Excuse me, Avila is the catcher here tonight.
So here is Mike Moustakas batting in the 2-hole. Moustakas off to a fabulous start, .340. He was their player of the month in April, although you could have made a case for Kendrys Morales.
Batting .326 this year against left-handed pitching with 5 extra base hits.
Had himself a bunt double in the first game of the series. The 0-1. That's outside. It used to be that Jose Iglesias would play in when you shift like the Tigers are playing now, only with one strike, but they got burned last night on a bunt by Hosmer, so Iglesias stays there until there are 2 strikes in the count. That's one of the changes Brad Ausmus made in last night's game. There's a chopper hit to the right side. That'll be Kinsler to throw him out. And there are 2 gone now. So David Price with a couple of outs, fly ball and a ground out. Now Lorenzo Cain. .337 batting average for Cain. He's had a nice series, 3 out of 9. He has scored a couple of times. .12 RBIs on the year for Cain. He settles in against Price with the bases empty. And he looks at strike 1.
That's what David Price is all about, especially against the right-handed batters. Now that fastball at about 95, he can spot it on the black outside with the best of them.
Price, after his last start against Minnesota, just kept saying over and over after the game, I need to be more consistent. There's a wave and a miss. 0-2. He threw a lot of pitches early in the ball game his last time out, which drove his pitch count up.
And first pitch fastball 95, second pitch outstanding change piece thrown by Price that kind of faded down and in to Lorenzo Cain.
Here's the 0-2. Ball high, 1-2 the count on Cain.
David Price says that every time he goes out to the mound, he wants the batter that's in the batter's box either on the bases or out within 3 pitches. Loves to attack the hitters, and that's one of the reasons why historically he's been able to go so late in games. He pitches to contact even though he's a power pitcher.
Cain looks at a ball outside, and the count now is 2-2. And the Royals' talented center fielder waiting on deck, Eric Hosmer. Royals offense was busy early in games 1 and 2. They got 3 in the first last night. They scored 3 in the third in game 1. It's fouled back out of play. Cain this year has scored 17 runs and is 5th best in the American League. Really came of age, I would say, in the postseason last year. He made a couple of diving catches in the ALDS against the Angels.
Oh, he showed out now.
Here's the 2-2. Grounded to third. Right there is Castellanos. And that ball is picked at first base by Miggy. It'll be a 1-2-3 inning and 12 pitches for Mr. Price. Detroit is brought to you by Comerica Bank. Raise your expectations of what a bank can be. When it's time, come to Comerica. Dodge, come in for the high-powered deals during the Dodge Awards season events. And by Country Fresh Sour Cream and Dips. Get real. Back here in Kansas City on a gorgeous evening. It is still scoreless as we go to the top of the second, and Edinson Volquez goes back to work. Had a little bit of trouble in that first inning. Tigers got a single and a walk, but could not punch one in. Here is Alex Avila to start things here in the second. Avila, Castellanos, and Iglesias. Volquez delivers strike one on Alex.
Just about every fastball that Volquez has thrown so far. 94, 95 miles an hour.
182 for Avila this season. One home run. And a ball that just missed a little bit outside. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Can you ever remember coming here, man, and seeing this many people in the stands?
No, not, well, certainly not for like a 4-game series.
I mean, standing room only in the outfield.
Occasionally there might be like fireworks or something going on, get a big crowd, but this is really great to see for Royals fans. Not a seat to be had. The weather is certainly cooperating this weekend.
And they got here early tonight. Salvador Perez bobblehead night.
Oh, is that right?
Yes.
Here's the 1-2. Chopped foul. Ooh, right off his foot. We rolled in on the team bus around 1 o'clock locally here, and as we were pulling into the stadium parking lot, there were already people in their chairs hanging out outside of the ballpark, tailgating, waiting to get in. Avila trying to shake this one off, but it's taking a little bit of time.
It's a breaking ball and hit right off the top of the right foot.
One for 3 in the ball game last night. Avila had a couple of at bats late. He walked against Herrera, singled against Wade Davis. A couple of really good at bats in the 8th and 9th. Checked it. Did he go? Yes, he went around, and Avila will be tagged out. One gone. Let's check in with Justin White now, who has a little bit more on the Tigers' inconsistencies offensively.
Yeah, Mario, the Tiger bats have been awfully quiet so far in this series. And earlier today, Brad Ausmus said his offense is kind of feast or famine so far this season. The numbers kind of bear that out. Last night was the 10th time the Tigers have scored 2 or fewer runs in a game. Now, conversely, they've scored 7 or more runs 8 times. That's tied for the most in the majors. Now, Ausmus also said that on most nights, the opposing pitcher dictates how many runs you score. And certainly, between Danny Duffy and Chris Young last night, that's kind of played itself out so far in this series, guys.
Yeah, it has. J-Dub, thanks very much. And, you know, the Tigers, like every team, I guess, in baseball these days, will face an ace or two along the way, and the Tigers have seen their share. Like Samardzija, Sale, and Garrett Cole, and a bunch of other guys. So, but that is not to make an excuse, because certainly every other team faces those pitchers. And the Tigers just have not been able to maintain what they had early in the season offensively. Castellanos is a prime example. Went through a 9-game hitting streak, but has slowed down since, and he rolls this one to Colon. 2 gone. What do you make of the inconsistencies, right?
Well, I think you nailed it. You're going to run into some pretty good pitching, and they have ran into some good pitching. They've seen Corey Kluber of the Cleveland Indians. You brought up Garrett Cole of the Pittsburgh Pirates. And they're going to shut down good hitting. The Tigers, however, at the end of the day, they will be one of the best hitting teams in all of baseball.
Here is Iglesias, who's been one of the best hitting shortstops in all of baseball. 370. And that is good right now for second, actually third now in the American League. He was second. Iggy now third at 370.
Something else the Tigers get on a nightly basis. They get the opposing pitcher's absolute best. Because that opposing pitcher knows that this Tigers lineup, there's very little margin for error.
In the shallow center field for Lorenzo Cain, and a 1-2-3 for Edinson Volquez. David Price against the Royals' current active roster, and David Price has had the Bernstein advantage. They're batting just .178 against David Price.
Only 2 extra base hits in 45 at bats.
Eric Hosmer will start things off for the Royals. It'll be Hosmer, Morales, and Salvador Perez. There is the shift that the Tigers are playing. Castellanos will move to the other side of the infield. Hosmer bunted for a base hit in last night's ball game.
Moustakas and Hosmer are the only 2 Kansas City Royals that have bunted for base hits this year, and 2 of the likeliest that wouldn't do that.
That'll get away from Avila. Well, when you look at that big 3-run first inning last night, you might make an argument that that bunt single might have been the most important hit.
No question, because he's got Kendry Morales to the plate.
Hosmer at .330. He's knocked in 15 this year. And he's had a big series, 4 for 8, including a home run. Chopper hit to the right side. Cabrera comes in to make the play. Hosmer is out. 4 up, 4 down against the lefty Price. Now Kendrys Morales. Two doubles in the series for Morales, who just continues to be very consistent with the bat for the Royals.
Currently on an 8-game hitting streak.
Yeah, pretty good. Batting .323. Swing and a miss, 0-1. Morales has played in 23 games this year. He's hit safely in 21 of them. He really wasn't signed until late last year. Spent the entire offseason looking for a job, and then was signed in June by Minnesota. And eventually went to Seattle. The 0-1 is a swing and a miss.
And Price has got that really good changeup already here tonight. You can see the grip of the changeup in his glove.
Awkward one-handed swing for Kendrys. Here comes the 0-2. Thought about it. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Morales began his career with the Angels, spent 7 seasons out in Anaheim. There's Perez waiting on deck. Low again. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Talking about the Royals manufacturing some runs early in the game last night. I saw a stat where 25% of their runs last year came via the home run. That's it. That was the lowest percentage in baseball. So this is a team that gets it done in different ways. But Morales does have some pop. Here's the 2-2. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. 2 gone. First strikeout for David Price.
We're going to make that our Bell Tire pitch by pitch. First 2 pitches, all speed pitches. And he did not look good swinging at those. And he finally comes back to get him with an outstanding fastball, 4-seam variety at 96 miles an hour. Fastest pitch of the night so far by David Price.
Here is Perez with 2 away. 12 of the 20 for Price are strikes so far. Strike 1 on Perez. A couple of RBIs in the series for Salvador. The 0-1 is fouled straight back. 0-2 on Perez. Here are the season numbers. .322. Got a double in this series. It's really easy to measure what he brings to a team offensively, but what he does defensively as well is equally important for this team.
He is one of the best catchers in the game. Top 2 for sure.
And Price stayed away. Perez would not offer 1 and 2. 97 on that fastball from David.
And Perez is still fairly young.
Now Price with the 1-2 pitch. He spoiled that one. Perez stays alive. Hey, by the way, stay tuned after the game. Tigers Live coming up. They will select the Fox Sports Detroit Tigers Player of the Game, presented by the 2 for $5 Classic Quarter Pounder with cheese. One and 2 on Salvador Perez. You get the feeling, at least early on here, that Price will be in consideration for that Tigers Player of the Game award. Check the swing, rolled slowly back to the mound. Price will take it himself. It'll be 1 unassisted to end the inning. They go in order, and you're watching Tigers baseball tonight, presented by Bell Tire. It's Sunday Kids Day, and on top of that is Mother's Day. Don't forget that. All kids 14 and under in the first 10,000 moms receive a free Mother's Day tumbler. For tickets, call 866-66-TIGER or visit tigers.com. Mother's Day coming up, Rod.
It sure is.
Did you do your shopping?
Not yet.
Okay, me
not yet.
But you know what? We've got the off day in Chicago, so that might be a good time. Volquez goes back to work.
And make sure you bring your credit card.
A couple of them, actually. It's going to take more than one. Davis, Gose, and Kinsler here in the top of the third for Detroit. No runs, 1 hit for the Tigers. Straight zeros for KC. And did he go? Negative, says Dale Scott, the crew chief down at first.
And Rajai Davis getting a rare start in right field tonight. J.D. Martinez not starting in this game.
How rare? Well, Rajai hasn't played right field since 2013 with Toronto. 1 ball, 2 strikes. It does give the Tigers, though, a really good element of speed out there in center and right. Cespedes can run as well and left. They will cover some ground tonight. Volquez with the 1-2. Off the plate, 2-2. Davis right now sitting at an even 300 in the average column, 5 RBIs. Anthony Gose waiting on deck. Here's the 2-2. Tried to spin one up there, but he missed it. 3-2.
He's already thrown quite a few of those really slow breaking balls, anywhere from 79 to 81 miles an hour.
Three-two missed. That's ball 4. Davis will take his walk. Tigers have another base runner, their second walk of this game. Leadoff man is on for Anthony Gose.
Rajai Davis not afraid to run on anybody, and that includes Salvador Perez, the very talented catcher that the Kansas City Royals have. However, if Rajai's in a running mood, he better get a good jump.
Why do you say that?
This boy can throw. He can throw.
Perez behind the dish is not afraid either. And a soft toss to first base.
Here's some numbers on Perez. He's caught 8 of 11 already.
Well, the only guy in the major leagues that has caught more than Perez is Russell Martin. He's caught 9. Gose struck out in the first inning to start the ball game. Anthony shows bunt. 1 ball, no strikes. Gose at 286 now, 7 RBIs. Davis down at first base, 6 stolen bases. He's been caught just once, and he's held there by Eric Hosmer. Volk is now slowing things down with Davis at first, and it's bunted. It'll go foul though, and Perez lets it roll. 1 ball, 1 strike on Gose. This really does bring you an interesting dynamic with Rajai playing tonight. You've got the speed of Davis at 9. You've got the speed of Gose at 1 in your lineup.
Yeah, they could create a lot of problems for the opposition.
Gose had the RBI ground out in the 8th inning last night, providing the only Tigers run. It came against Kelvin Herrera. And another throw back to first base, chasing Rajai back in there. Well, we normally talk about the Royals among the league leaders in stolen bases. I mean, that's a given every year, but look at Detroit. 24 of them this year for the Tigers, 3 more than KC. Gose looks at a ball outside, 2-1. These are also the top 2 teams in batting average in the AL. The Royals at 306 as the ball club. The Tigers right behind them at 280. Davis stretching that lead at first. Runner bluffing line to right field, base hit. Gose is aboard with a single, and the Tigers have something going now here in the 3rd.
It's a smart base running by Rajai Davis. Volk is about 115 to home plate, which makes it nearly impossible to try to steal a base with Perez behind the dish. And Gose got himself a really nice fastball down and simply dropped the barrel of the bat in the strike zone and whistled that one into right field.
And the problem facing Volquez right now is he's got Kinsler coming up in the meat of the lineup after Ian.
And Gose knew he was going to get a fastball with Rajai on first base and the possibility that he might steal.
Kinsler this year 321 with runners in scoring position.
And the way the Tigers have had a difficult time of scoring runs in the series, this could possibly be a situation where a sacrifice bunt was in order. But if they did that, the Kansas City Royals would simply walk Miguel Cabrera. So Brad Ausmus not doing that.
Well, I know this. If Kinsler finds a gap, he will score 2 of these with the speed on the bases.
He might not need to find a gap to score those 2.
There's Davis at second and Ghost at first.
And they're both a threat to steal.
Here's the 0-1. Checked it. 0-2 on Kinsler.
And told you that he likes to throw his changeup to the right-handed batters. As a matter of fact, 15% of his pitches are changeups to the right-handers. Not afraid of it.
Boy, you're not kidding. That's a fairly high percentage, don't you think?
It really is.
0-2. Cabrera waiting on deck. Volk has had himself an easy 1-2-3 second. Different story here in the third. And you can see that Davis continues to draw a lot of attention from Volquez.
Even when Davis and Ghost aren't running, they still put that pressure on the pitcher that's on the mound to make sure that he keeps them close. And obviously, he's dividing their attention between them, the base runner, and the hitter.
The 0-2. 1-2 on Kinsler. Ian has 10 multi-hit games this year, which is good for 5th in the American League. He's been slowed a little bit recently. With Cabrera waiting on deck. On the ground toward the second baseman. Infante to second, one in the relay. Up the line, threw it away. Here comes Davis rounding third. He will score. Tigers get a break there and what seemingly looked like a double play, and it's 1-0 Detroit.
Ghost was not being held on first base, and when this ball was hit by Ian Kinsler, because Ghost had such a huge secondary lead, it was going to be impossible for Colon to get rid of this ball and throw it over to first base to get the double play. Give Ghost a lot of credit for the Tigers scoring this run. He ate up Colon, the shortstop.
Fielder's choice, E6, and the Tigers have the early lead. It's the first time the Tigers have actually led in this series. They've trailed up until now. And here is Miguel Cabrera. Miggy looks at a strike, 0-1.
Take one more peek at where Ghost is as far as how big the lead was, and he's way off the bag here because he's not being held on, which means the ball on the ground with his speed, whether it's the second baseman or the shortstop, they're not going to have time to turn it. And he went in there hard.
He's also hit to the left of Infante, which took an extra beat, an extra step to get it to second base. The 0-1 runner goes, bouncing ball toward third, scooped up there by Moustakas. Second out of the inning, advanced the runner to second. It'll bring up Victor Martinez. Flat out to center field back in the first. .217 batting average now for Victor. And he's going to bring Perez out to the mound here with a man in scoring position. Martinez in last night's game walked once. He was 0 for 3. Hey, by the way, just a reminder as you enjoy a cold one to look forward to Miller Time later in tonight's game, brought to you by Miller Lite. Tigers, by the way, have drawn 10 walks in the first 2 games plus in this series. There's ball 1 outside. Of the 10 walks, only 2 have scored, though. The leadoff walk to Rajai Davis, coming around to score here on an error by Christian Colon. Here's the 1-0. 1 ball, 1 strike on Martinez. Volquez zeroing in on 50 pitches now. He's at 47. The right-hander had his best season, winning 17 games with the Reds, but that was back in 2008. Ball high, 2-1. Volquez was once traded for Josh Hamilton when he was a member of the Texas Rangers. He was traded to Cincinnati for Josh Hamilton. Kinsler, the runner at second, 2 outs. Tigers have the 1-0 lead here in the third. And the 2-1. Driven deep to right field. That ball is going to hook. And it will go foul. Just a little bit ahead of that pitch.
That is a good sign right there. And Victor getting himself a 2-1 fastball and turning on it the way that he did last year. So many times when Victor would get himself in this particular situation, a fastball friendly count, he would simply turn on the fastball, and it didn't really matter how hard that pitcher was throwing.
It's exactly what Brad Ausmus was alluding to a couple of days ago when they asked him about Victor. He said he's seeing more and more of what you just saw there from the left side of the plate, which indicates to him that he's getting a little bit closer.
Royals have really good arms in their outfield, but there's some good speed at second base as well with Ian Kinsler. And should Victor connect for a base hit?
Cespedes waiting on deck. 2-2 on Martinez. Popped him up. Shallow center field. Lorenzo Cain is there to retire the side. Tigers get a run on a throwing error. We go to the bottom of the third. miss out on the May Party Suite special. It's available for all Monday through Wednesday games in May. Special packages include 15 suite tickets, 18 soft drinks, 6 pizzas. Yes, 6 pizzas. Chips and dip. For more information, call 313-471-BALL.
Did somebody say pizza?
I said 6 of them, too. Well, David Price has a 1-0 lead as he goes to work now in the bottom of the third.
And David Price, 5 of 6 so far in first pitch strikes. He's been attacking the strike zone tonight so far against this Royals team that's on fire.
Here's Omar Infante to lead it off. And Omar looks at strike one.
And make that 6 of 7 in the first pitch strike category.
By the way, did you know, Rod, that when we go to the 4th inning, you are going to leave us?
I am going over to Fox Sports Kansas City, yes.
Yes, you're going over to their booth. We're going to do an analyst swap tonight. Rex Hudler, the analyst for the Royals, will be coming into our booth and spending an inning.
Well, our fans are going to be in for some kind of treat because Rex Hudler is one of a kind.
There's the Hud man. He is high energy, man.
Look at him. He's intense. The wonder dog.
And he will be in our booth when we go to the 4th. Rod will head over to Fox Sports KC. There's a wave and a miss by Infante.
I see you, David.
Oh, David Price. That's his second strikeout. He's retired 7 in a row.
His secondary stuff has been sharp today, and mostly the changeup. He has not made a mistake with the changeup, and he's got the changeup going east to west in the strike zone. That one fades away from Omar Infante.
Paulo Orlando will step in. .264 batting average for Orlando. He's played in right field the last 2 nights. Gerard Dyson played game 1 in right field.
Dyson had a good game, too.
He did. Can't find the field now. There's a strike call. Tigers a couple of lefties, though, with Lobstein last night and now David Price. Lobstein, by the way, I thought did pretty good last night.
Lobstein settled in nicely after giving up that 3 spot in the very first inning. Unfortunately for him, Chris Young on the other side was up for the task.
Quick throw by Kinsler. Gets the out.
Do or die play by Ian Kinsler. Makes that play as well as any second baseman in the American League. And there are some good second basemen in the American League. Kinsler, Altuve, Cano, Dustin Pedroia. Take your pick.
And he needed to get rid of it quickly because Orlando is a track star in his native Brazil.
Did you notice how I threw Altuve's name in that mix?
I noticed, yes.
Huh?
And deservedly so.
Right.
Leads the league in hits.
And led the league in hits last year. And won a batting title.
Here is Cologne. I can tell you're sold on Mr.
I like Altuve.
Another bouncer. This one a more routine play for Kinsler. And yet another 1-2-3 inning for Price. Have fun in the KC booth.
All right, be nice to Rex.
All right, we will. A score of 1-0. As we mentioned, we've got a little bit of a booth swap going on here for the 4th inning. Rex Hudler, we want to welcome him in from Fox Sports Kansas City, the fine analyst of the Royals. And Hud, these days, man, you got a lot to be excited about in this ballpark.
It's a lot of fun, Mario. Baseball is relevant in Kansas City now. You know, it's a long period to lose in 29 years before a postseason game, and last season they took care of that thirst.
Yeah, but you know what? They also play an exciting brand of baseball, which is always something that, you know, as an analyst, you've got to be excited about, because on any given night, they're going to do something that's pretty spectacular.
No question. There's just a lot of ways that this Kansas City Royals team can beat you, Mario, and it's been exciting to see the development. This is just my 4th year here, but it's taken Dayton Moore 8 years to build this.
There's a great play by Colon. It's short, but Cespedes will be able to beat it out. That'll be an infield single to start things off here in the 4th inning.
You know, when you think about it, Mario, 8 years to build a team that almost won the World Series, man, the Cubs would like to have that formula.
Oh, there's no question.
A lot of teams would.
Yeah, the Royals have done a really good job of building this team up, but I think there also, Hud, has to be a feeling that you know, the Tigers are still a pretty good team, and from what I gather, the players in the Royals clubhouse still kind of respect that.
Oh, absolutely. They all know that the key to this league is to go through the Tigers and Detroit. Beautiful city. Love going. We can't wait. Next trip, we're coming.
Yeah, we look forward to it next week at Comerica. Volquez going back to work here against Avila, and Alex looks at a ball outside. Well, tell me a little bit about Volquez. I mean, he's been a pretty good addition to your rotation.
Absolutely. Now, Dayton Moore went out and got him with the idea that he could eat up 200 innings. And that was what they wanted to replace James Shields. Now, Shields was a leader in the clubhouse as well. Volquez does in his own way. But if he can come close to 200 innings, 195, 200, it'll have been a successful acquisition.
And he'll get away from Salvi Perez all the way to the backstop. Move the runner up now as Cespedes goes into scoring position. Wild pitch will advance the runner.
The thing that impresses me about your Tigers is that you got Ghost, you got Rajai Davis, you've got Kinsler, you got speed. Okay, and speed is something that the Tigers have missed. And last year, Ausmus brought that in. And so when your power goes down, and you run a spell of some good pitching, there's still ways to win ball games. That's what kept Ned Yost and the Royals in it. The last 2 years they've led the league in stolen bases because they're active and they pressure defenses.
Yeah, before you came on, we just showed a graphic. The Tigers 24 stolen bases, among the best in baseball. The Royals at 21. But Ned Yost, you know, Ned took some heat last year because of the way he managed. But in the end, he got his ball club to really one inning of winning the World Series. 2 balls and no strikes on Alex Avila here. Tigers trying to add to their 1-0 lead. And that drilled in the air to center. Lorenzo Cain cruising back. Runner will tag Cespedes on his way to third. 1 gone. And that'll bring up Nick Castellanos. Well, I know the rotation really hasn't been as consistent as they have wanted it to be here in Kansas City, but man, with all these bullpen pieces you guys keep rolling out, it doesn't seem to matter, does it?
That's interesting. Again, you have to point to management for that. And I say that's congratulations, because they've really built this team around their athleticism with their position players, but they all know pitching is 90% of the game. And that bullpen, they built that from scratch. A lot of these guys are all homegrown, most of them, but they just keep coming. The 2 adds this year of Ryan Madsen and Chris Young, whew, man, that just made a strong bullpen even better.
Bouncing ball to third. Moustakas down to a knee. He could pick it, can he?
He's got a chance to wear gold one of these days.
Well, they've got gold glovers behind the plate at first and in left, and Moustakas showing off some leather.
He's got a cannon too, and he shows it off. He really does a nice job. I'd like to hope that Moose could probably have like a Greg Nettles career. I mean, I told Moose to Google him. I said, Moose, go check that player out. And you can only hope and pray you had that kind of career.
See, Hud, you got to tell players these days to go Google Greg Nettles.
That's right.
I mean, it's just
time's moving by, Mario.
It is.
It goes fast.
Here is Jose Iglesias.
But in our day, you would say Google and you'd think, what is he saying? You want me to gargle? What are you talking about? No, nowadays the information is right at our tips. These young people can go. I mean, the scouting reports, you can Google Cespedes. You can check him out and you could tell his stats, what he's done in his past. I mean, the information nowadays is really good.
Iglesias is 0 for 1 in this ball game. We've got Rex Hudler in the booth with us here in the 4th inning. Rod Allen is over to the Fox Sports Kansas City booth doing a little bit of an analyst swap.
Not a good trade for the Tigers. No. I can tell you that.
It's an even trade, Hud. The 1-0 sails in for a strike, and Iglesias didn't like it. 1 ball, 1 strike. What does pitch track say? Iglesias might have had a beef there. What do you think, Hud?
Well, yeah, you know what? Just all depends on. But then again, we're talking about technology and scouting. You could study each umpire has their own tendencies and where they call more strikes than others, even though they're graded a lot more tightly than they used to be.
When you played, did you know coming to the ballpark based on the home plate ump that it might be a good day or a long day?
Not early. It took you some time to get to know the umpires. But back then, that's when they had their own unions. That's when they had, a little more protection. National League umpires were National League guys. American League guys were American League guys. There was no interleague action. No swapping of leagues. And they had egos.
Oh, really?
Oh my gosh! And I got to play 5 years in the American and 5 in the National, so I got a sample of both sides.
3 balls, 1 strike on Iglesias. Tigers have the 1-0 lead. They got a run in the 3rd. Jose trying to drive in a 2-out run here. Volquez ready with the 3-1. Bouncing ball back up the middle. Colon ranging left. And that is that for Detroit. Rex will stick around for another half inning. In the meantime, no runs, a hit. 1 man left. Here comes Price. Rex Hudler, who has joined us in the Tigers booth, doing a bit of an announcer swap. Rod Allen went over to KC's booth, and Hud, man, I remember the first time I met you. You had spent 13 years in the big leagues. We were with the Angels at the same time. You are a rookie broadcaster. Now look at you. You're all grown up, man. This is great.
Thank you, Mario.
This is great.
I'm extremely thrilled to be with you again, partner. And also the Detroit Tiger audience. What an organization you guys have. And like I said earlier, we love coming to Detroit. We like the city, and the team stays out in Birmingham, beautiful suburb out there. But last year, we got to stay inside the city. I like that a lot better.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Well, David Price, a little bit of a delay in coming out, apparently has a contact issue. So there's Kevin Rand, the head athletic trainer, and reinserting the contact. So
well, either Kevin needs a stepladder or Price, he's got to go down to a knee. I mean, bring the stepladder out for Rand.
Kevin needs the stepladder, no question. But David Price will go back to work now as we head to the bottom of the 4th inning. The Tigers have given Price a 1-0 lead to work with. And leading it off is Alex Gordon for the Royals, who grounds it foul. No balls and 1 strike. What do you got on Alex Gordon? Here's a guy that had some wrist problems late last year, but he looks like he's full strength now.
What I got on him is the best defensive fielder in the American League.
Gold Glover.
And he's platinum.
Oh, he's platinum. You're right.
Believe it.
He's platinum.
So that means he is the guy. But, you know, he's a leader. He's a quiet leader. He's got a dangerous left-handed stroke.
That one is skied to right center where Gose is waiting. 1 gone.
And he's been extremely hot. And when they lost Escobar, you know, you saw Escobar get beaned.
Yes.
By Salazar.
That was not good.
That was ugly.
That was not good.
So Ned Yost said, you know what, I'm going to put Gordo right back up there in that leadoff spot. And, you know, Alex could hit anywhere in the lineup. And he could hit 4th, he could hit 3rd. He's very well rounded and very well respected from Nebraska.
Well, here is Mike Moustakas. And they had the shift on. Meanwhile, 10 straight retired by lefty David Price. Moustakas hits one foul down the third base line. And what we've noticed about Moustakas, not having seen him play every day, and based on what we heard out of spring training, is he is making a more concerted effort to go toward left field.
Oh, without a doubt. Mario, the last 2 seasons he's struggled. And last year opened up the season 0 for 21.
Whoa.
And when a player goes through that, he tries to pull himself out. But, you know, look at their teams are giving him lanes left and right. And so he's just now figured out that, look, in order for me to have a good batting average, or at least a decent batting average, I've got to wait on the ball and keep the same swing I have as a pull swing and just simply guide it over there. I mean, that whole side's open for him.
Well,
So,
look at that, 16 to left.
yep. However, Ausmus is still playing him with that pull. Other teams in the Central, they've all moved back to
Well, they
straight
have,
up. Oh,
really.
yeah. They started out the first couple of games in that series like that, but Moose kept pounding them to the opposite field, and he made them shift back straight up.
Here's the 0-2. Bouncing ball the other way.
There you go.
And he beat the shift. Meanwhile, Iglesias threw that ball across the diamond, almost threw it away. It's the second time in this series that Moustakas has beaten that shift, so maybe Brad Ausmus will start to play more straight up against him.
He's extremely confident. Mike Moustakas is in the top 10 in several offensive categories. Anything that's up and out away this year, he's simply just putting the same swing on it, but he's waiting longer. That's the key. And Iglesias, I loved how he threw the ball across the diamond. Anyway, because some guys think, oh, I'm just going to walk in there, you know, and get that base hit. And this guy, he plays with an edge. I like him.
Well, here is Lorenzo Cain now. That, by the way, is the first hit allowed by David Price. He had retired 10 straight. Lorenzo Cain bounced out his first time up. Price works at home, and it's lifted in the air to right. Backing up is Rajai Davis. That'll be the second out of the inning as Moustakas heads back to first base. Here's our T-Mobile game changer as Eric Hosmer comes strolling in. And Eric Hosmer is, well, he's really made his presence felt here in Kansas City the last couple of years. Off to a great start this year. Since 2014, his numbers against the Tigers have been a whole lot better against the rest of the league. What's up with that, Hud?
Well,
he just dials in.
Yeah, he does, and he hasn't even reached his full potential yet. Hosmer's an MVP in the weight.
You think so?
Yeah, he's just learned how to control his front half, his front foot. His front foot was lunging so much, and it's 6'5". You know, he has a lot of moving parts. He's trying to figure out that swing, and I think he's kind of dialing in now in year 4.
And we were talking, Rod and I were talking last night about the Royal that maybe has the highest ceiling from where he is right now. Lorenzo Cain's name came up, and I brought up Eric Hosmer. I thought still has a little bit more to go.
Yeah, and you know, I don't have to tell the knowledgeable Tigers fans this, but the Royals are young. They're young, and they're not going away. Dayton Moore has tied up a lot of these guys long term. They all love it here in Kansas City, and they're not going very far. Hosmer, they extended him for 2 more years, and this team really believes in each other.
Well, Hosmer came in at .330 on the season. He has hit 3 home runs, including 1 in this series.
He's dangerous. Now, most of his hits are coming straight up the middle, and that's why pitchers are pitching him in. There's been a lot said about Royals getting drilled this year, you know, getting hit. It's not because they're trying to hit him, they're trying to keep the ball out of the middle of the plate.
There's a check swing. Did he go? Yes, he went around, said Lance Barrett. The sellout crowd doesn't like that call.
Because these guys, when you're facing somebody with long arms like Hosmer, you don't want them extended. See that front foot? That front foot's nice. Now, did he go? Looks like he did to me.
Yep, I think it was a good call.
Yeah, that front foot really is a hitter's key. It keeps the weight back.
1-2 on Hosmer. Tigers have a 1-0 lead here in the 4th in Kansas City. We've got Rex Hudler in the booth with us for the 4th inning. Rod Allen went to the Fox Sports Kansas City booth to spend it in.
Digging it. Now, I can apologize to your crowd, but my crowd here in Kansas City, they're happy Rod's over there. Just to get a break from me, man. Are you kidding? My wife, she can't wait till the season starts. She's
Get
like,
you out of the house?
Go. You got to go.
Spring training's like Christmas Day for her, huh?
She loves it. She's begging me to go to umpire school even.
Here's the 1-2. Oh,
look at that delay.
Just outside, delay, steal, throw to second, and got him.
What a heads-up play by Avila. That was sweet.
Hey, Hud, thanks for spending some time. Good luck the rest of the way with the Royals, man.
Thanks, Mario. You mean I got to go?
You got to go, man.
Okay, bud.
We appreciate it, though.
Appreciate it.
Avila catching Moustakas on the delayed steal, ending the inning. Thanks, Hud. Buddy Rod Allen back. How was your time in KC over there in their booth?
It was nice, but thank you for inviting me back. And Chevrolet brings you the highest strength steal of the game. What a play by Avila and the Tigers middle infielders. Moustakas trying a steal here, and it was the delayed steal variety, and he's thrown out. That's the first time they've been thrown out with a delayed steal here this year, but the Tigers were not caught napping.
Dude, you were back in the booth for 10 seconds. They already have you doing a sponsored element here, man.
Did they really?
Put you right to work.
They did. How about Rex, man? We had a runner on third, less than 2 outs, and he couldn't even deliver the run.
No, he couldn't. But here's Rajai Davis to start things off again here in the 5th inning. Rajai led it off with a walk in the 3rd, and he came around to score the game's only run. David Price looking really good in this one. Has faced the minimum through 4. Now the Tigers trying to build a little bit more of a lead. Edinson Volquez brings home the 0-2. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Rajai Davis.
And both of these pitchers tonight are on top of their game. Volquez has had a fastball that has gotten all the way up to 96. He's also had a nice 2-seam fastball, real slow curveball, and he's using his changeup effectively to both the righties and the lefties. What a good leader Salvador Perez is.
Here's the 1-2. High fly ball. Right center field. Yeah, it's going to be Lorenzo Cain. That ball carried a little bit. 1 out. Here is Anthony Gose. Single strikeout for Ghost.
And Ghost got himself a fastball that was down in the zone his last time up with Rajai Davis on first base. It hit an absolute seed into right field.
On the outer edge, 0-1.
And Volquez has had that real nice bender working all night long.
Volquez gave up a single and a walk in the first and then a run in the third, but otherwise been pretty good here. There's a wave and a miss. 0-2 the count on left-handed batting Anthony Gose. Perez setting up inside. Ball high. Tigers have 3 hits in this game. The Royals have only 1. Kinsler waiting on deck. The 1-2. Perez blocking, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Ghost had an RBI in last night's ball game. His ground out delivered the Tigers' only run in the 8th inning. And he was part of the scoring in the 3rd. His base hit set up the throwing error by Colon, which scored the Tigers' run. Here's the 2-2. Lifted back out of play. Look out. Into the seats quickly. Ghost has gotten his best opportunity in the big leagues to this point this year with the Tigers. He did appear in 94 games last year with the Toronto Blue Jays. That was a career high. You would think that he would eclipse that this year with Detroit. He came out of the gate swinging the bat in the month of April. Has cooled a little bit in recent times. Only 2 hits on this road trip. He'll lift that one in the shallow left field. Going to be trouble. Diving try. Gordon can't get it. Ghost on his way to second. He is in there standing up.
Well, if Gordon in left field doesn't catch it, it's not catchable. And he leaves his feet and the ball jumps right over the glove, and he actually knocked it down and kept it in front of him, but Ghost with his speed still able to get 2.
That'll go as a double. Ghost never broke stride.
Another example of the speed of Ghost. I mean, there are some guys on the Tigers team that's a single, right? Because Gordon was able to keep the ball in front of him.
So we'll see if the Tigers now can get this run in. 1 out, 2 base hit. Well, Salvador Perez made a lot of visits to the mound tonight.
He doesn't make, excuse me, there's no other catcher in baseball that makes as many trips as Perez does to the mound.
He doesn't leave anything to chance, it appears. In fact, he went out there that last time and he was followed immediately by Dan Iasonia, the home plate umpire.
Perez not doing his job as far as speeding up games.
Kinsler looks at a ball outside. Volquez's fastball has been mid-90s in this game. He was the starting pitcher last year for the Pirates in the National League Wild Card game. Took the loss as the Giants began their march to the World Series and eventually beat these Royals. In on his hands that time with that 94-mile-an-hour heater. 1 ball, 1 strike. Volquez allowed 5 runs in his last start against Chicago, but only 1 of those was an earned run.
Yeah, last year the Pittsburgh Pirates had to use their ace, Garrett Cole, on the final day of the regular season, which meant that Volquez had to start that first game of the playoffs. the playing game.
Yeah, that's what makes it so tough for that wild card is you can't really set things up like a lot of the division winners can do.
Well, baseball has changed the rules on the final day. Every single game will be played at the exact same time, whereas in years past there have been some scattered times, and you just don't know what's going to happen on that final day of the year.
Runner goes to third. It's lined to left center field. Base hit. That'll get a run in. Ghost will come around to score. Kinsler takes a wide turn, and he will hold with an RBI single.
Tigers had not been very good at getting base hits with runners in scoring position, but Ian Kinsler connects there for his 11th RBI of the season.
Big run for the Tigers. They lead 2-0.
Anthony Ghost was on the move. Ian Kinsler got a fastball right down the middle, ripped it into the gap. And look at the speed of Kane to get over there to keep Ian Kinsler to a single. That's the same thing that Anthony Ghost does for the Tigers on balls you think are going to get into the gap. They don't get there because of the speedy center fielders.
RBI 11 for Kinsler as Cabrera stands in. Kane made sure he would not get past first base. Miggy looks at ball one outside. Cabrera's 0 for 1. He walked in his first at bat. .356 batting average now for Miguel. That is the 5th Tigers hit in this contest. And it was the first Tigers hit with a man in scoring position. Volquez staying away clearly again in this at bat. 2-0. A walk started the Tigers rally in the 3rd. A 1-out double by Ghost gets it going here in the 5th. High fly ball, right center field. Going to be playable for Orlando on the edge of the warning track. About the 3rd ball in this series, and Miggy's just missed. That one hit the other way, hit a couple to left field earlier in the series.
Yeah, before the Tigers got here to Kansas City, he wasn't missing them, though. He had the 2-homer game in Minnesota, nearly hit 3 that afternoon.
Here's Martinez. Victor has put the ball in the air twice tonight, both to the center fielder Kane. Average now at 214. That's how the outfielders play against Martinez. You see Kane out in center field deep. Second baseman back as well. That's Infante on the grass. There's a strike call. Infante can afford to play that deeply at second base just because Martinez doesn't run all that well. Now with 1 strike in the count, they feel the bunt is out of order and they move Moustakas over. Here's the 0-1. 1 ball, 1 strike on Victor. Tigers lead 2-0. RBI single by Kinsler here in the 5th, extending the Detroit lead. Tigers looking for a win in this series. They've dropped the first 2. It'll go the other way, but it's going to slice foul back out of play. One ball, 2 strikes. Volquez now has reached 80 in the pitch count category. Here they are by inning. He'll throw his 20th pitch here in the 5th. Here's the 1-2. Bouncing ball towards second in short right field. Infante falls, but has plenty of time. Inning over. Tigers get a run. They lead by 2. And you're watching Tigers baseball tonight, presented by Bell Tire. David Price is settling back on top of the slab, and Price has been 11 of 13 at first pitch strikes in this game, and has faced the minimum through 4. Gave up a single to Moustakas in the 4th inning. That's it. As you look at his total numbers, only 41 pitches after 4 innings. Hosmer was at the plate when Moustakas was thrown out on the delayed steal in his last at bat.
Well, David Price, after watching the Kansas City Royals the last couple of days, he knew that he had to be on top of his game tonight if he was going to slow them down. They have won 9 of their first 11 games right here at home, and they are playing with a tremendous amount of confidence.
1-0 is a big swing by Hosmer. 1 ball, 1 strike. Three unassisted on the ground out off the bat of Hosmer back in the second, 0 for 1. He'll be followed by Kendrys Morales and then Salvador Perez. Bouncing ball right side. Miggy backs up. Price covers, and Hosmer is 0 for 2. A couple of ground balls to the right side of the infield. Here's Kendrys Morales. Strikeout victim back in the second was Morales. And Price just misses darting the outside corner with a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. Morales trying to extend his hitting streak, which right now stands at 8 consecutive games. Swing and a miss.
He threw that fastball right by Morales at 95. That's a 4-seam fastball there.
Two and 1 the count on Kendrys. David Price came in at 24-10 with a 2.5 ERA against the Central in his career. He's done some of his best work within this new division that he's pitching in. Of course, he pitched in the East with Tampa. That's skied in the air to shallow right field. Rajai Davis coming in. And there are 2 gone. Time for a game break now. We go back to the studio. Trevor Thompson. How about the Twins, Rod? They are 500 now.
Yeah, Paul Molitor, their new manager, has got them playing some pretty good baseball. They've been getting better starting pitching.
Salvador Perez takes ball 1. And he grounded back to the mound his first time up. Royals have been limited to just 1 hit on a dominant performance so far by David Price.
And that 1 hit was by Moustakas, their third baseman. He beat the shift with a single right down the third baseline.
Here's the 1-0. 1 ball, 1 strike on Perez. So David now has reached 50 here in the 5th. That's his total pitch count. Pretty good.
He's thrown 30 pitches less than Edinson Volquez, the starter tonight of the Royals.
Line drive to left, base hit. Only the 2nd hit of the ball game for the Royals. A 2-out base runner now for Kansas City. That'll bring up Omar Infante. Infante struck out back in the 3rd. We'll see what he can do now with 2 outs. Bouncing ball to 3rd. Castellanos has it. He'll go the short way for the force. Inning over. Nothing comes to the 2-out single. 5 in the books in KC. Sports Detroit is brought to you by the Sam Bernstein Law Firm, official legal services sponsor of Fox Sports Detroit. Bell Tire, get the lowest tire price, period. Bell Tire. Myers, save big with M-Perks from Myers. Sign up at mperks.com. And by Chevrolet, find new roads. Oh, they do it to us every time we come here.
Yeah, they do.
The old barbecue billboard here. Oh, man, look at that.
Oh, my goodness.
Okay, stop. You're really making me hungry. Edinson Volquez back to the hill as we go to the 6th. Tigers on top in this one, 2-0, in desperate need of a victory here tonight. They've dropped the first 2 games in this series against the Royals. Yoenis Cespedes leads it off. And that's it for a strike. 0-1. Yoenis a single and a force out. Average of .298. He's hit 4 home runs this year, including a grand slam against Quintana of the White Sox. Here's the 0-1. No balls, 2 strikes on Cespedes.
And Volquez still throwing hard. That fastball at 95. 83 pitches in. Volquez really picking up right where he left off last year, pitching for the Pittsburgh Pirates, where he was stellar down the stretch for them.
He's just being outpitched tonight by David Price. I mean, his numbers are really good, despite the fact that his pitch count's a little bit up. Swing and a miss, and he's just dispatched Cespedes.
I know a lot of people say that Ventura is the ace of the staff, but not so fast. Volquez is dealing tonight. Nice change piece here to get the strikeout.
It's his 3rd strikeout of the game. Good breaking ball at the bottom part of the strike zone as you look at some of the American League ranks on Volquez. ERA of 1.91. Here's Alex Avila. Strikeout flyout for Avila. Strike 1. Volquez brings home the 0-1 pitch, and he backed him out of their ball inside. And Sonia took a long look at that one. Here's how they play him defensively. Here's the 1-1. And Avila didn't like that call.
That's a changeup at 84 that Alex thought was up in the strike zone.
And a little bit outside. But Iasonia gave the benefit to Volquez there. The 1-2 pitch. Just off the plate. 2-2. Castellanos waiting on deck. Here's the 2-2 offering. Try to catch the outside corner, couldn't do it. Full count. Of the 5 Tigers hits, only one of them has gone for extra bases, and that was the bloop double by Anthony Gose, which set up a run in the 5th. Tigers got a 1 in the 3rd, 1 in the 5th. They lead by 2. And the 3-2. Swing and a miss to strike him out.
A changeup that Volquez is featuring here tonight is absolutely dirty. He got Cespedes on it, and he also got Avila on that same changeup. When a pitcher has the ability to throw you a fastball at 95 miles an hour and then throw the next pitch out of the same window with the same arm speed, but it be a changeup at 85, you're going to get a lot of swings and misses.
As Volquez did there. A little bit low to Castellanos. Nick 0 for 2, couple of ground balls. Moustakas made a nice play on him back in the 4th inning. Here's the 1-0. That'll drop in for a strike.
How was Rex over here? Was he cutting up?
Oh, Rex was Rex, man. He was just going and going and going. A lot of energy for Rex Hudley.
Just wind him up.
Let him go. The 1-1 pitch. 1-2. Rex and I go back a long ways to our days in the mid-90s in Anaheim doing games there, and he hasn't changed. He's just a high-energy guy, loves his job, loves what he does. One and two. Castellanos. Right through the legs of Perez. 2 balls, 2 strikes. There's Iglesias waiting on deck. Tigers so far tonight have been able to silence the bats of the Royals, and that's thanks to the dominant performance so far from Price.
Here comes that changeup again.
Low, 3-2. Volquez ended the season last year on an 18-inning consecutive scoreless streak. That's how good he was down the stretch. Signed by the Royals in the offseason, 2-year contract in December.
Yeah, the Royals felt like they couldn't afford James Shields, and so they decided to sign Edinson Volquez.
And so far so good on that deal. Perez okay. Home plate umpire Dan Iasonia giving him a little bit of time, but he says he's all right. Here's the 3-2. Just got a piece of it, and Castellanos stays alive. Should Castellanos reach, Iglesias would be next. And for as well as Price has pitched tonight, the Tigers still with a lead of only 2-0, so it's not totally comfortable. But David has certainly been on point tonight. Very little pushback from the Royals.
And it looks like David Price is probably going to go 8 here tonight, or close to it.
Yeah, I don't think he'll have trouble doing that. He should. And that's basically the range where he's used to being. I mean, he was a little frustrated after his last start with the heavy pitch count early. He has got it going tonight in a ballpark that has a sellout crowd, but they've been mostly quiet this evening. Volquez ready with the 3-2. He lost it, ball 4.
That was an absolute great at bat by Nick Castellanos. They had to get a walk out of Volquez.
It's going to be the 3rd walk for the Tigers tonight. They've had 11 of those in this series, 11 base on balls. Now Iglesias trying to keep it going. And he backs him out of there with a strike. 0-1. I mentioned that Volquez last year pitched the wild card game for Pittsburgh. He allowed that grand slam to Brandon Crawford in the wild card game, which propelled San Francisco not only to a win in that game, but obviously the World Championship as well. Here's the 0-1. Look out, splittered bat. 0-2. Here's a big chunk of the barrel sitting down the third base line. Action in the bullpen. Franklin Morales is warming up for the Royals.
Something in Salvador Perez's eye, apparently.
Yeah, it's seemingly has been bothering him this entire half inning, and they're finally going to take a look at it. Or maybe was it just off this splintered at bats? Maybe that's what it is. Yeah, that must be it. He's aight. 0-2 the count.
AIGHT.
He's 8. Now Volquez ready with the 0-2. And then he fouled another one back. Ground ball, fly ball for Jose Iglesias. Batting average now 360 for Iglesias, who has been given a couple of days off, but by and large has been out there mostly every day for Brad Ausmus after missing the entire season last year. Again, the 0-2. Lined and caught at third by Moustakas, who almost mistimed the leap. They will chant moose. David Price coming back out to the hill in the 6th. He's been dominant.
Delivery of the game. David Price has had outstanding location with his fastball today, and he's gotten all the way up to 97 miles an hour with that pitch. And then when he gets him looking for that heater, that change piece has been dancing all over the strike zone, and some dart into the right-handed batter, some dart away from the right-handed batters. He's been dealing tonight.
Well, he's got 8, 9, and 1 here in the bottom of the 6th as Paulo Orlando leads it off for the Royals. Ball 1 to Orlando. Christian Colon and then Alex Gordon in the home half of the 6th. Tigers up 2-0. Two runs, 5 hits for Detroit. No runs, just 2 hits for KC. Here's the 1-0 pitch showing bunt. Strike called. Orlando spent 9 years in the minor leagues. Count them, 9, before he got his first opportunity this year with the Royals. He's got speed. The Tigers have him tight at the corners. Been a triples machine. A little bit outside.
That's the way that Dayton Moore, their general manager, has built this Kansas City Royals team. A few years ago, it started out with pitching and defense, and now they've added some offense in as some of the kids have grown up. And they've got themselves a really good baseball team.
Orlando waiting on the 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Orlando got a chance this year after 9 years in the minors because of an injury, and that, of course, was to Alex Rios. You know, when they get him back, and it's going to be a while for Rios, but then Escobar coming back hopefully at some point next week, they think. I mean, this is not even a full-strength KC team right now.
Team's not going anywhere. They're going to be there all year.
Here's the 2-2. Lifted back out of play. Orlando made headlines early with all the triples that he hit. Ned Yost has enjoyed watching him play. Enjoyed watching his entire team play. They've been fabulous in the early goings. Two and two. Another foul back out of play. Orlando in the minor leagues hit 63 triples in his 9 years in the minor leagues. 63. That's a lot of three baggers. And he's continued that type of pace up here in the major leagues.
Second time tonight, David Price will go at least 6 pitches on a hitter. He did it early in the game against Lorenzo Cain.
To right field on a line, Davis. One gone here in the 6th. Time for another game break. To the studio and Trevor Thompson. Well, how about those Indians? Thanks, Trev. They are 8-15 now.
Off to a terrible start.
Boy, I don't think a lot of folks saw that coming with the pitching that they have. 8 games back in the Central Division. There's ball 1 to Christian Colon. Ground out his first time up back in the 3rd.
And David Price was doing an outstanding job with first pitch strikes earlier in the game, but he has gone ball 1 on 5 of the last 6 hitters.
Wafted to shallow center field. Goes. He'll have to play it on 1 hop. 3rd hit of the game against Price. All of them have been singles. We'll bring the tying run to the plate. Gordon. Whoa, check that out. How do they sneak that thing into the stadium?
What do they call them? Fatheads?
Fatheads. That thing was a gargantuan head. So here's Gordon now batting .278. Couple of fly balls for Gordon. 0 for 2. Finally, the crowd again trying to muster some excitement here. They've had only 3 hits to cheer about. A swing and a miss by Gordon. Actually got a piece of it to foul it off at home plate. 0-1 on Alex Gordon. Gordon last year injured his wrist at the All-Star break, trying to break up a doubleheader, or a double play I should say, and then eventually hit just 190 down the stretch, but had the offseason surgery and he's feeling a whole lot healthier. Here's the 0-1. Ball inside. 1 ball, 1 strike.
And Gordon was on 3rd base when the final out was made last year of the World Series. He hit a ball in the left field where it was misplayed, and the ball got all the way to the wall. And Mike Jerschley, the 3rd base coach, thought about sending him home, but he held him up at 3rd base. Salvador Perez popped up. The next batter, World Series was over, but I was watching that game and I thought maybe he was going to try for an inside the Parker.
1-1 is whistled back out of play, and don't think Mike Jerschley hasn't heard about that.
Gordon makes outstanding plays defensively too. You talked about the 4 Gold Gloves that he won last year. Take a look at this catch right here, just a few days ago. This is sick. I mean, really.
Who does that right there?
He just ran over big fella.
Big fella's on the seat of his pants.
That's what big fella get for wearing that Sox jersey.
He may have dislocated something.
He looked like the big fella. I got you. You better get out of the way.
More action in the bullpen. Jason Frazier now has joined Franklin Morales. 1-2 on Gordon. Bouncing ball foul, first base side. Well, you mentioned that even though Price is on the hill, Ned Yost continues to run his left-handed starters out there. Gordon is one of them.
These are his guys.
He only hits 194 against lefties this year, but you're right, these are his guys. Here's a breakdown on Price through 65 pitches. 46 have been strikes. Just off the plate. 2-2 on Alex Gordon. This crowd's just been itching for something to cheer about. Here's Moustakas waiting on deck. Fouled away. Gordon continues to work this at bat. Gordon has a player option for the 2016 season, so he's got a decision whether or not he wants to exercise that option, remain here in Kansas City, or become a free agent.
So he can walk if he wants to.
He can walk if he wants to. He has delayed that decision because obviously I'd like to see how things go this year, but he loves it here. Says he wants to stay. Oh, he fought that one off right back to the mound and right by David Price. Oh my goodness. David just whiffed on it, and now the Royals have life.
Second error that David Price has made this year. One was on a poor throw to Ian Kinsler on a comebacker.
First and second for the Royals, and only one out for Moustakas. Moustakas 1 for 2, singled against the shift.
16 pitches thrown by Price in this inning. This is the most he's thrown in any one inning today.
And there's a combination of "Let's Go Royals" and Moose chants right now at the ballpark. In there, strike one. Well, Gordon struggled against lefties coming in. Moustakas anything but. 326 versus left-handed pitching.
With 5 extra base hits.
Two on and one out. 2-0 Tigers in the 6th. Royals have their best threat. Literally their only threat. Little chopper, foul down the first base line. So Moustakas finds himself in an 0-2 hole now. .70 pitches for Price as we play here in the 6th. Opponents are 8 for 19 with men in scoring position against Price this year. This is their first at bat with a man at second base tonight. The 0-2. Sought him off, ground ball to third. Castellanos tags the bag. One, throws across the diamond in time, a double play. Oh, was that big? Nick Castellanos one step to his right and then turns the double play. But we'll see if they want to challenge it.
Nope, he's out.
He is out. And Castellanos got it done. Boy, was that big for the Tigers. A step, a touch, a throw, inning over. Price, well, he has been in command tonight. Volquez really hadn't pitched all that badly. It's just that he's thrown a lot more pitch. Kinsler. Rajay in the ball game, walk, run scored. He is 0 for 1. Morales taking over for the starter Volquez. And Rajay looks at a ball up high, 1-0. Davis playing in right field tonight. With J.D. Martinez getting the night off. J.D. has been struggling offensively, and Brad got him out of there for a night. He'll shoot that one to right field on a line, and caught. Basket catch by Orlando. 1 out. Here is Anthony Gose. Been a pretty good night tonight for Gose. Single, double, run scored. Average up to 310. One ball and no strikes on Gose. Shot to left field. That is going to be another hit for Anthony Gose, who goes the other way.
Let's take a look at the big boys' big play of the game. It came back in the 3rd inning with Anthony Gose on first base. Ground ball, potential double play ball. He cleaned the clock of their shortstop Cologne, and the Tigers were able to score a run on the air. That's good, hard baseball right there.
Yeah, and it gave the Tigers their first run of the game. In the meantime, now Gose has put up 3 straight hits. Here's Ian Kinsler. 2 hits tonight for Kinsler, which gives him another multi-hit game. That's 11 for Ian on the season. Tigers now have 6 hits on the board. In the 7th here in Kansas City, game 3 in the series. Royals have won the first 2. Here's the 1-0.
Anthony Gose still trying to figure out Morales on that last delivery. Gose was headed back to the first base bag.
Draw a throw as he dives back in. That one missed, and the count goes to 2-1. Gose and Kinsler, the top 2 in the Tigers lineup tonight, have been on base 6 times. Grounded foul right by Dave Clark.
I'm going to show you a couple of slides here. One slide was Brett Laurie of the Oakland Athletics earlier this year with their shortstop Escobar clearly not going to turn a double play. This knocked Alcides Escobar out of the game for a couple of days. You can see that he's not going to turn the double play. However, Gose on the other side can see that Cologne was going to try to turn the double play. His slide was late as well, but no problem with his slide. One guy trying to turn 2, and the other guy was reaching out like a first baseman just to get the out.
Yeah, and that slide incited some bench clearing situations where the Royals seem like that whole week and the week after were involved in brawls. Here's another toss back to first base. Laurie insists that he wasn't trying to hurt Escobar on that play, but I think the key, as he pointed out, Rod, is that there was clearly no double play in order there.
Brett Laurie should have been able to see that Escobar was not going to try to turn a double play there.
Runner goes. 2-2 is hammered in the air to center, playable. Get back. Ghost going to have to find it and get back quickly. And he will. He was sliding into second base. 2 outs.
He had a great jump, too. Ghost had a tremendous jump. And then a nice deep job by Omar Infante. Omar better get out of the way.
Here goes Brad to argue.
What's he talking about?
I don't know. I don't think you call the Dan Iasonia is calling in the rest of the umpiring crew here, and they're going to look at something. The only thing I can think of is, did Ghost touch second on the way back? He slid into the bag, though. I don't know that he actually crossed the bag.
Well, if that was the case, then why would Brad be challenging that?
Good point.
Is there some kind of interference between Infante?
Because they didn't call him out. Maybe that there has to be. It's Dale Scott to your right there. He's the crew chief.
Did touch the bag with the right foot, if that's what they're challenging on the way back.
Well, they haven't called Ghost out. They said he got back to the bag, and they're saying that he didn't touch second base, but they haven't called Ghost out. Let's take a look at the replay of the umpire, who perhaps did call Ghost out. And if that's the case, then they're talking about whether or not he touched the bag on the way back. So let's watch the umpire. Okay, now they're calling Ghost out. I got you. So now the Tigers are saying, wait a minute, he touched the bag coming back. Here's the replay.
And watch the right foot of Ghost. The right foot.
Right there. He touched the bag.
No question. Right there.
Yeah, we didn't see. That's great camera work there. We did not see that first base umpire call Ghost out. And so therefore Brad Ausmus came out and said, wait a minute, he touched the bag. We're challenging this. And it to me was pretty clear and concise. You know, but they continue to look at it. Here's Anthony. There's the right foot. He touched the bag clearly. They did call him out. Otherwise, why would Brad challenge? And that's what was kind of confusing us. So they continue to take a look at this in several different replays in New York to determine whether or not apparently Ghost touched the bag. But it seemed clear that he did. Wait a minute now. It looks like we have a determination here. They're calling him out.
They're going to have to give an explanation on that.
I hope so, because clearly the replay we saw, he touched the bag. We'll sort this out, but Ghost is out. Tigers are done here in the 7th. We go to the stretch. Ghost at second base and why they called him out.
Well, stay with me for a moment here, folks. I'm going to circle the right foot when the right foot gets on the bag, right? Now, stop it. Okay, now the right foot is on the bag. Okay, now what Anthony Ghost does right now cost him the out call here. Now he's going to come toward third base with the left foot, and then he never retouches the bag after the left foot is on the third base side of that second base bag. And I'm thinking that's what got him. I mean, it seems that it's nitpicky, but that's the only thing that I can think of.
To me, it's splitting hairs. I guess technically he did make an advance to third base with that left foot, but it seemed like it was all in one motion to me when he touched the bag.
It's clearly nitpicky, and that's the best explanation that I can give, the best explanation that I could see. And it looked like one of the umpires was giving Anthony Ghost that same explanation. The right foot is on the bag. Okay, the right foot clearly touches the bag, but then when the right foot comes off the bag, that left foot's toward third base almost. Right. And now this is what cost him, because he never went back to touch it after that.
Good breakdown of that, and some great camera angles to that as well to give us the explanation on why they called Ghost out. And the original confusion on the play, at least for me, was I didn't see Dale Scott call Ghost out, but he did. We showed that, and that's Lance Barrett who gave the explanation to Ghost. So we got that all figured out. We'll see if that turns into a big play. 2-1 the count on Lorenzo King as the Royals bat here in the bottom of the seventh. And Kane looks at a strike, 2-2.
Price hasn't thrown many fastballs inside tonight, but that's a good one there at 96 miles an hour.
Kane hitless tonight. He is 0 for 2, fly out, ground out. 3-4-5 coming up for the Royals. Here's the 2-2. Drilled toward left field, straight at Cespedes. 1 out. Three minutes and 21 seconds, by the way, to make a ruling on that challenge. So here's Hosmer. That'll put the shift in play now against Eric.
Where Iglesias is playing right here, if Hosmer wanted to bunt for another base hit, he could clearly bunt for another base hit. Iglesias is really good, but if Hosmer got the ball down the third baseline, there's no way Iglesias would throw him out.
Broken bat into center field. Ghost will get there.
But I think what Brad is doing there is he wants to at least make Hosmer and Moustakas think about it by having that shortstop a little closer to playing in and toward third base.
Yeah, that's exactly what Brad said before the game today. You've got to at least put the thought in the hitter's mind that there might be a play made on a bunt, which, you know, in some cases may make the hitter think about it again. But you're right. I mean, there's no way that Iglesias, for as good as he is, going to throw anybody out.
Not the kind of bunts that they've been laying down the last couple of days.
Yeah.
Hosmer and Moustakas.
Yeah, they've been really good. Here's Franklin Morales, or I should say Kenrys Morales. And he looks at a strike, 0-1. Fly ball strikeout for Morales in this game, 0 for 2. And again, Price has allowed just 3 hits in this contest.
It's a sellout crowd here, but David Price has kept them quiet.
That's into center field. Anthony Ghost to make it a 1-2-3 inning. Price in cruise control mode here tonight. 2-0 Detroit. Anthony Gose at second base. The official explanation from Major League Baseball is exactly what you illustrated and what you saw, Rod, here. Here's an advancement to third right there. And once you advance to third, whether or not your back is to the third baseman or not, that is an advancement right there. And so you got to retouch the bag, and he didn't.
That's a nice job by our crack staff.
Great job. Our crew was all over that.
The one that saw that play was Rusty Kuntz in their dugout, their first base coach, who's an outstanding base running coach and outfield coach. He's the one that saw that play. You saw him point to that first base umpire, and then that first base umpire almost went on what Rusty Kuntz was selling.
Wall side windows pitching change. Johan Pino is in now for the Royals. So Franklin Morales goes 1 inning. Pino here in the 8th. He's got Cabrera, Martinez, and Cespedes to deal with. Miggy is 0 for 2 with a walk in this game. Cabrera had the base on balls back in the first. And he'll go to work down here against Pino in the 8th inning in a breaking ball strike. 0-1 on Miguel. Pino pitched with Minnesota briefly last year, made 11 appearances, all as a starter. No balls, 2 strikes. He's a native of Venezuela. He spent 10 years in the minors before he finally got to the big leagues last year with the Twins.
Good for him.
10 years. I mean, there comes a point where you got to start to wonder, look, this probably ain't going to happen. Do I want to keep playing?
Right.
And for a lot of guys, we talked about their right fielder, Paulo Orlando, 9 years in the minor leagues. Rex Hudler, who was in the booth with us in the 4th inning, 10 years in the minor leagues. There's a bouncer hit to the right side. And out is Cabrera.
I did not spend my first 10 years of my minor league career in the minor leagues, but I had about 11, 12 years of minor league baseball with 3 years of Japan sprinkled in. So I spent a lot of time in the bushes too.
So you speak from experience.
No question about that. I played AAA about 6, 7 years.
Here's Victor Martinez. Victor in the ball game is 0 for 3, a couple of fly balls and a ground out.
My dad always told me, ain't nothing but work back here, son.
You might as well stay where you are.
Might as well stay where you're at. Ain't nothing but work back here.
Well, the other question is you know, if you're in AAA, I mean, you can make a decent living playing AAA baseball.
And back in those days, guys went to go play winter ball. I mean, I played winter ball every year, whether it be Mexico, Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, and it was a nice way to supplement your income in the offseason.
1 ball, 1 strike on Martinez.
And play some really good baseball.
Victor, a couple of flies to center and a ground out. They have the shift on after the first strike was recorded. Moustakas ran to the right side of the infield. He'll go the other way toward left. Gordon is on the move. And an 0 for 4 for Victor. That is the second out of the inning. He'll bring up Cespedes. Yoenis in the game of single and 3 at bats.
You get the feeling, Mario, judging by the first 3 games of the season series with the Kansas City Royals, that it's going to be very competitive between these 2 squads.
Well, I agree. And you know, it's the way these 2 squads are built. I mean, they're somewhat different in that the Royals have maybe a little more speed, a little more defense. But the Tigers certainly have a middle of the lineup that is unmatched. You know, when they're going, they're as good as anybody in baseball.
That's right.
Starting pitching, I think maybe the Tigers, when Verlander comes back, might have an edge. And of course, the bullpen edge goes to the Royals.
And even though the Kansas City Royals right now are trailing the Tigers in stolen bases, they clearly have more team speed.
built in different ways, but the goal is the same. Tigers won the division by 1 game over the Royals last year, but it was KC that got to the World Series. That's why once the postseason starts, flip a coin. Grounded back up the middle. Cologne diving stop. Going to be a tough play to get him, though.
That's the second infield knock of the night for Yoenis Cespedes. Couple steps in a dive by the shortstop Cologne, and once he leaves his feet with the speed of Cespedes, he's not going to throw him out. I have to admit, I did not realize the kind of athlete that Cespedes was. I knew he had power. I knew he had a strong arm, but I didn't know he had the kind of speed that he has.
Yeah, specifically for me, it's the speed. I didn't realize he was that fast. Here's Avila now with 2 outs. Ball outside, 1-0 on Avila. A couple of strikeouts and a fly ball to center for Alex tonight, 0 for 3. Tigers have out hit the Royals now 7-3 tonight. Only 3 hits allowed by Price. High fly ball left center field. Gordon is under it. That'll end the inning. No runs. 1 hit, 1 left. Here comes the bottom of the 8th. Three games, and we'll bunch up all the stats there combined and roll that against what he's done here tonight.
He has gone 7 innings. He has not given up a run, and he has allowed just 3 singles. And one of the things that he wanted to do, coming on the heels of just 6 1/3 innings pitched in Minnesota, he wanted to pitch into the 8th inning here tonight against Kansas City, which he's about to do.
So Price goes back to the mound. Salvador Perez leads it off. Slice to center field and a base hit. 1 pitch and a base runner now for KC. That'll get him stirring a little bit.
It's the 8th inning, and I know Salvador Perez is very valuable to the Kansas City Royals, but why no pinch runner here, I'm wondering, with all the speed they have on their bench? If nothing else, it makes David Price think a little bit more. Right now, he's not worried one bit about Perez on first base, but if you put Dyson over there, then all of a sudden his attention would be divided.
Well, here is Infante. Strikeout, hit into a force his last time up. it's a good point. It's a valid point, and it's something that I think that many managers struggle with late in games, especially in close games, because you don't want to take one of your better players out of the game, but you're down right now by 2 runs.
And the way that David Price is pitching, even though Perez got a base hit, he's not coming back up today. Kasori, if they turn it over to him, he's been perfect.
One 1-0 on Omar Infante. Strike called, 1-1.
Good fastball inside at 93. We've seen David do that quite a bit. And it's one of the things that we talked about at 7 o'clock against the right-handers. He would have to show some guys some fastballs inside.
Now Price ready with the 1-1. Here it is. Fly ball right field. It'll chase Rajai Davis back, not deep enough. And Perez back to first base, 1 out. Check in with Justin White now. A preview of what's coming up on Tigers Live.
Yeah, Mario, right after the game, we'll head into the Tigers clubhouse, get the thoughts of Brad Ausmus. We'll also chat with David Price about what has so far been a sensational start. Trevor Thompson and Craig Monroe are in the Coliseum studios for Tigers Live right after the game, guys. Back to you.
Look forward to it, Justin. Thanks very much. We also look forward to something positive to talk about on the postgame show tonight. For the fellows back in the studio, here is Paulo Orlando. Orlando ground out fly out tonight. Little pop up, shallow right field. Davis coming hard, and he'll make a basket catch. He'll throw back behind the runner, but Perez gets back in there. The speed of Davis bailed him out.
When the ball left Orlando's bat, I didn't think there was any way that the right fielder was going to get there. Then I had to look up and realize it was Rajai with all that speed, and he made that play look rather routine. Xfinity is the sponsor of our high-speed pitch here tonight, and David Price has been all the way up to 97 miles an hour. He did that back in the very first inning, and he's been 95 and above with several of his fastballs this evening.
Here is the number 9 hitter now, Christian Colon. Ball 1 outside.
And David's pitch count is in exceptional shape right now at 85. So
exceptional to be sure. He has had some quick innings tonight. Here's the 1-0 pitch, way outside. 2 balls, no strikes.
One more look at Rajai Davis, already playing rather shallow with Orlando in the batter's box. Got a really good jump, took a beeline toward the baseball and made a nice grab. What'd you say, playing right field for the first time in how long?
2013, as a member of the Blue Jays. Doesn't seem to matter for Rajai. Good outfielder. Good speed,
good team player.
2-0 is skied toward left. To the corner it goes. Cespedes runs out of room. Ooh, that was close.
It was.
Man, I didn't think it was that close. Wow. Just out in front of it by a tick.
If you're David Price right now, you cannot afford to give up any home runs to the pull field to any of the guys that have power. With your control and your command, you have to make sure if anybody is going to take you deep today, it's got to be the opposite field variety or straightaway center field. It cannot be to the pull field.
Here's the 2-1. 3-1 on Colon, who's trying to get it to the top of the lineup. And if he does, Gordon would step to the plate as the go-ahead run.
David Price has not walked a batter this evening.
Let's keep it that way. That is popped up foul. Toward the seats, out of play, about 4 or 5 rows deep. They had a sellout crowd here last night at Kauffman Stadium. It was their 3rd of the year. They'll get there again here tonight. But by and large, David Price has pretty much put that index finger to his lips as if to say, shh, there's nothing going on here tonight. 3-2. Colon had a single in his last at bat. 1 for 2. 7-game hit streak now as he continues to fill in for Alcides Escobar.
Perez over at first base talks as much as Miggy does.
That's hard to believe. 3-2 with the runner going. Popped him up. Left side of the infield. Iglesias saying, I'll take it, Dan. He does. Inning over. No runs and a hit. 1 man left. David Price outstanding through 8. And the Tigers lead tonight 2-0. The Tigers holding on to a lead here thanks to David Price, who has scattered just 4 hits, and he's thrown 90 pitches through 8 innings.
Well, Price knew that he had to be at his best tonight to slow down the Kansas City Royals, who are playing with a lot of confidence these days, and they've won the first 9 of 11 games right here in this ballpark.
It'll be Castellanos leading it off as we go to the top of the 9th inning. Johan Pino back to the mound as we start things off in the 9th, and a ball outside, 1-0. Castellanos, Iglesias, Davis, bottom 3 in the Detroit starting 9 tonight. Tigers got a run in the 3rd, 1 more in the 5th, and so far it's held up. Here's the 1-0 pitch, and it's fouled straight back to the screen. 1 ball, 1 strike. Looks like Joakim Soria is warming up now in the Detroit bullpen. 9 for 9 in save opportunities in April.
He doesn't look like he's in a hurry, though.
No. I think he's probably just a safety valve down there.
Looks like he might just be up, starting to toss. And if David Price gets in any trouble, he'll be ready to come in.
1-2 on Castellanos.
That and the fact that the first 2 hitters are left-handed too.
Lifted foul down the right field line.
And Gordon Moustakis.
It'll be the top of the order coming up for the Royals in the bottom of the 9th. The only question is, what will the Tigers' lead be at that point? Tom Gorsolani, the lefty, also heating up. Pino ready with the 1-2. Fly ball right field. Orlando hauls it in. 0 for 3 tonight for Castellanos. 1 out. Now Jose Iglesias. Oh for 3. Iglesias lined out in the 6th inning. Strike 1. 2 teams wrap up the series tomorrow. It'll be the finale in the 4-game set.
And then they'll see each other next weekend, right?
That's right. Right at Comerica Park. It's going to be Sanchez and Guthrie tomorrow. Ned Yost has his team in first by a 1.5 games right now. Tigers trying to cut into that deficit. This is a popped up bunt, and Moustakas runs it down. 2 outs. Fans follow the Tigers all season in 2015 with MLB.com at Bat, the #1 app for live baseball. At Bat is up to the moment at any moment with in-game highlights, live look-ins, replays, and a whole lot more. Get MLB.com at Bat for your smartphone or tablet. Here's Rajai Davis. 0 for 2. Walk, run scored for Raj. Strike called on Davis. Pino's done a nice job since coming on. Morales had a 1-2-3. Well, he gave up a hit, but there was that play in the 7th inning in which Ghost was called out, so he faced the minimum. It really doesn't matter these days who comes out of the bullpen for them. They do a good job.
They've got the best bullpen in the American League as we speak, and one of the best bullpens in baseball.
Here's the 0-2. Low and away. 1-2 on Davis. And it'll go foul down the right field line. Back amongst them. Pino ready with the 1-2 pitch. And Rajai just fought that one off. Stays alive right off the end of the bat.
Yeah, Raj is giving him a battle out there.
Again, the 1-2. Bouncing ball to second. Infante has it there. All right, here we go. The Tigers go 1-2-3 in the 9th. Bottom half coming up. David Price trying to shut her down. Comerica Bank, raise your expectations of what a bank can be. When it's time, come to Comerica. Your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Visit ChevyDetroit.com. See why Chevy drives the Motor City. And by Wallside Windows, we can do that. We are the factory. Last call for the Kansas City Royals. We go to the bottom of the ninth inning. Crowd coming alive now as David Price tries to finish this one off. Andrew Romine will take over defensively at third. Castellanos is out of the game. Top of the lineup for the Royals. Gordon, Moustakas, and Kane. Price 90 pitches to get through 8. And here we go in the bottom of the ninth. Grounded toward first base, rolling foul. 0-1 on Gordon, who is 0 for 3 in this game. He had a ground ball right back to the mound in the 6th inning. It went right through David Price and looked like it might start a big rally, but then David got a double play ball. He has not been challenged much at all tonight. Gordon, Moustakas, and Kane. Here's the 0-1. Ball inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. 4 hits tonight for KC. That is it. Tigers have 7. In there is strike. 1 and 2 as Gordon nods yes. Got the pine towel over the helmet, shoulder, his back.
David Price has thrown a lot of changeups today to the left-handed hitters, and it has been a really good pitch for him all night long.
Here's the 1-2. Ooh, where was that? 2-2.
He's thrown a total of 94 pitches. 65% of the 94 have been fastballs.
A skosh low. Oh, man. Gordon has taken a couple of really close pitches, and you saw the reaction there of Price.
Yeah, he did not like that last call by Dan Iasonia. Oh, my goodness, where is it?
Wow, says Price. 3-2. Drill down the right field line. That ball is hooking. Foul. Gordon checking the bat to make sure he didn't break it. It sounded like he might have fractured it, but apparently not. There's Moustakas on deck. Royals need a base runner to bring the tying run to the plate. Popped him up. Left side, shallow left field. Romine going back. Tough play. Nice play by Andrew. Running with his back to the infield, a basket catch.
Andrew Romine was just inserted into the ball game here in the bottom half of the 9th inning for a defensive replacement, and he comes up big with a nice play, running down the third baseline into left field to make an over-the-shoulder grab.
One out. Here is Mike Moustakas. In their first strike, 0-1 on Moustakas.
And David still throwing hard, nearly at the century mark in pitches thrown. That last fastball at 95.
They are not shifting right now for Moustakas.
This is what an ace looks like.
Check it, slow roller. Price makes the play. 2 gone. One more hurdle to climb here, and that is going to be Lorenzo Cain standing between the Tigers and a win. Cain 0 for 2 with a ground out. It's amazing how quiet this crowd has been most of the night.
David Price has not let him up, has he?
Not at all. Cain trying to keep it going. Hosmer on deck. In for a strike. So that's 100 now for Price. Dean has been able to get this deep into the game because really the strikeout numbers have been low tonight. Only 2 punch-outs. They put the ball in play a lot against him just without authority.
One of the things that David prides himself on, I should say, is the fact that he wants the hitter to do something, either get on base or make it out within 3 pitches.
Here's the 1-1 to Cain. Driven deep to left field. That ball is up there and it's going to go. It's gone. A home run. Lorenzo Cain with a 2-out solo shot in the 9th, and it's 2-1. And the crowd is energized again.
Lorenzo Cain absolutely killed this fastball that didn't get to the area that David Price wanted it.
First run given up tonight by Price. That is the 3rd home run of the season for Cain. 1-run ball game now, and here's Hosmer. Only the 5th hit allowed. Hosmer looks at a strike. A couple of ground outs and a fly out against Price tonight. .413 feet on that home run. He got all of it.
Yeah, he did.
The 0-1. Outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Hosmer, the tying run at the plate. Morales on deck. The 1-1. Swing and a miss. 95 from Price here in the 9th inning. Threw it right by him. And the Royals now are down to the final strike. The 1-2. Swing and a miss. He struck him out, and the Tigers hold on to win on a brilliant performance tonight from David Price.
I see you, David Price.
He strikes out Hosmer, the 12th career complete game for Price, and the first since last August. But it was a big one here tonight on a night in which the Tigers needed a victory. Price throws 106 pitches in this ball game tonight, and the Tigers win 2-1.